This episode is brought to you by Whitaker Garage Doors, your one-stop shop for all things garage doors, proudly based in Peekskill, New York. Your home is a direct reflection of your personal style, and let's face it, your garage doors are the first thing people see when they pull up your driveway. Whether you're looking for the timeless charm of a classic carriage house door or the clean, sleek look of a basic wood finish, Whitaker Garage Doors offers traditional options for every taste and budget. I can personally vouch for their incredible service. When I had my own garage doors done, I was blown away by their timeliness, professionalism, and overall respect for their clients. Jonathan, Cassara, and their entire team are top-notch, and they really go the extra mile to ensure you're happy with the final result. So if you're in the market for a new garage door or need some repairs, give them a call or find them on Instagram at Whitaker_doors. Don't forget to tell them you're a friend of Dave's over at the No Snooze podcast. Whitaker Doors. You won't regret it. Now, back to the epi. Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? I welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. I am Dave Regina, and this is the No Snooze podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 228. As always, I'm in the booth with my brother, Claudio the Voice Valenzuela, and I am Dave the Body Regina. Look, if you're listening on a Monday, happy Monday to you. If you're listening a couple weeks down the line, that means you were snoozing on the podcast, but you're here. We've been doing a lot of these solo episodes just because it's really what you guys wanted. You guys wanted to hear more from me. I don't know why, because I'm actually sick of my own voice. I'm sure my brother behind the booth is sick of my voice as well. But we will be incorporating some guests, so it's not like we're going away from them completely. But we're here to answer your call. Today we're going to be doing a little Q&A. But first and foremost, Claudio the Voice Valenzuela, how are you doing, my brother? It's beautiful now in New York. The weather has finally changed, and we're back in the booth, baby.
Feeling good, man. Clearly, you can tell by my attire. I'm on vacation mode. So
The big Hawaiian.
The big Hawaiian. No, but it's all good, man.
So today is a very important day. It is my baby girl's birthday. Today, June 16th, she turns 5 years old. What a blessing. I love being your dad. I know all the dads out there can feel me on this one. But you have just given me so much purpose. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, even though you're 5 and you don't even know what a podcast is or listen to it, I love you. I am grateful for you. I choose you every single day. And you are my world, baby girl. So may God continue to watch over you, protect you, keep you safe and healthy. So without further ado, CV, let's get into it, baby.
Oh, you're not going to get off that easy. I got some questions.
all right, you got questies. Let's get it.
So, Miss Callie Michelle.
Yep.
How old are we turning?
5 years old.
Awesome. By the way, I just want to note this. I don't know if you can see my phone. Can you read?
Callie Regina's birthday.
Callie
There we
Regina's
go,
in there.
baby.
The question is, at what age will you put her into the podcast mind frame to start listening to our dad?
You know what's funny is so sometimes she actually thinks we have a TV show. That's what she
awesome.
thinks, because on our YouTube on the TV she sees the No Snooze podcast logo with the photo of me there. So we always mess around and say that it's
so we're right next to like Blue's Clues.
yeah, exactly. I think she's into Mika and Blippi.
Oh,
those
Mika
are the
Blippi.
new people. But yeah, man, she I think she's interested in it because she gives her own like motivational messages to me, and she constantly tells me, if you focus on the good things, then good things happen. If you focus on the bad things, then bad things will happen.
The future is right there.
I think we'll have to get her in the booth. I like that.
The future is right there. Oh, when do you predict she'll be she'll be a guest in the show?
I know. That would be. I would love to do it, but she gets a little shy for some reason. Like, yeah, when I pull the cell phone out, she's fine because she's been around that obviously her whole life. But I noticed, like, even one time, I think Mike was around with a camera or something that he was shooting me, and I put like a microphone on her. She was like, I was like, "What's your name?" She's like, She like
we got to
completely
give her a
forgot.
few more years.
Yeah, we'll work her in though. I like it.
If she's anything like Dad, she'll start talking like nonstop pretty soon. And
Absolutely.
That's when you know.
We'll never be able to quiet her. We'll be like episode 3,524.
I am your host, Callie Michelle. My dad, I don't know where he is. All right, cool. I got some questions for you.
Camera on you, my brother. Thank you.
All right, here we go. How do you stay focused in a world full of distractions? I'm struggling building my online sales business, being a dad to my baby boy who's 6 months old, and working full time while trying to keep my marriage together. Oof, it's a deep one.
Yeah. Rest in peace, because life is over, baby. No, man. Congratulations on the baby, 6 months. That's a hectic time frame for sure. I think the first 2 years were definitely rough. So listen, man, you're supposed to be feeling like this for sure. And I think the way that I stay, I guess, grounded in it is intention and focus. And I know now that I am not a good multitasker. I think statistically only like 3% of the world is chemically wired for multitasking. And the life that you're living right now, there's no balance to it whatsoever. But the important thing is if that you have the ability to remain present when you're in the moments, when you're at work, when you're in your marriage, when you're being a dad to your baby boy. Those are the moments that matter. And, you know, you'll look back on this one day, and we constantly always talk about like the good old days. And although it's hectic right now, you are currently in the good old days, right? But going back to the multitasking thing, your brain actually can't focus on two things simultaneously. And there's a great statistic when you're interrupted, whether it be, well, let's talk about work. On average, if you're interrupted in the middle of doing something, it takes 23 minutes for your brain to get fully back on track. Now, that's an alarming number because before that 23 minutes is up, you're typically interrupted again. And that's why at work I have to be very mindful of closing my door, especially when I'm getting some like HR stuff done or I'm getting some government contracts done, because the moment I'm interrupted, that like constantly sits with me. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to be focused for another 23 minutes. So it's something that you need to keep in mind. And when you are locked in with your wife and you pull out your phone and you start texting somebody, it's going to take your brain 20 minutes to get back into that deep conversation that you were trying to have with your wife. But the reality is you're going through it right now. You're in the mud, but keep going because it's a beautiful journey as you continue to grow. But also this is supposed to be hard, right? Like this is not supposed to be the easy part of life, but this is the rewarding part of life. Enjoy every moment because like I said, my daughter just turned 5 today, and I remember when she was 6 months. But yeah, man, keep going.
Cool. Coming to me. Multitasking is not my strong suit.
23 minutes to get back. God damn it. That's a long time, right?
That is a long time, especially when you think about how many times you get interrupted just on a regular,
And that's for your brain to get back to peak focus.
Right.
So like you can still be focused after 5 minutes, but it takes 23 minutes to get fully engaged back in something.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right?
That's wild. So please don't interrupt me. Mm-hmm. What's been your biggest lesson from things you've quit on in life?
That's it?
That was it.
Oh,
Nice
wow.
and short. Do you want me to repeat it?
No, I think I left the other context out of it. The biggest lesson, you know me, I like to be short and punchy. It would be don't be a starter, but be a finisher. Because I quit on a lot of things in my life. I've quit on relationships. I've quit in business, right? Specifically, we don't talk about it too much, but an interesting part of my journey in business is actually a beard oil company I had and a hat company. The beard oil company was called Thor because that's what they used to call me in the barbershop, and they still call me that to this day. But Thor stood for The Honest Oil Recipe. And the concoction was great. It was everything that I still even use to this day in my beard. Can't release those ingredients because we might drop that too, CV. All right, let's get it. But basically, I like had this grand idea. I talked to a couple friends. They were like, "Dope, like do it." I made this huge concoction by myself in my kitchen, bought all the little bottles with a nice cool logo and like label on it. And then I went to my barbershop and Erwin was like, yeah, like I'll push these for you. So we did little samples. Everybody liked it. And then I went to like 3 more barbershops and they basically told me no. And I was like, womp womp. And I like got defeated and I just quit. And I don't know why I quit, because I have a great beard. And that's a product that, like, if I kept going with it, it probably would have been successful. And then the other company, go ahead.
No, you can finish. You can finish.
All right. Then the other company was a hat company, and it was called Brim Kings. Right?
Actually, I do want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Because I didn't think you were going to switch subject. So just for the viewer, so hopefully this is the push to get more people to also go watch us on YouTube. But the shot that I have on you right now, it's a shot that actually shows more of your beard, so people can see the lusciousness of your beard.
There we go, baby.
Normally, when you have like the regular camera, the microphone covers a little bit.
Yeah.
So as you were talking, people are seeing
look at that, baby.
Look at that.
Thor.
So anyway, you can continue with your.
And then the other one was the hat company, man, and that was called Brim King, right? Brim being the front of a hat, and King just being a king. I wear a lot of dad hats, and it was a dad hat style, and basically they were one word. Everything was just one word in script. So one hat would say loyalty, one hat would say strength, one hat would say impact. And again, it's something fire that if I did want to bring back now, it probably would work. And it's something that I even wore, and I still wear like every day when I'm in the gym, right? But same thing happened. I ended up investing like $2,500 into like all these hats. Told my friends about it. They were like, oh, dope. Gave them free hats. They were sick. And then I got on social media very early on. This is probably like 2013-ish. And I think I put up a couple like stories. I think I put up a couple Snapchats, and like nobody like got back to me. And I was like, oh, that idea's dead. So I just quit. Right. So, and I share that because a lot of people will resonate with that. And then fast forward 6-7 years from then, boom, we dropped the No Snooze podcast. And No Snooze podcast, we've been in business now the past 5 years, but really didn't have the traction that we've had until after about like year 3.5-ish. And then boom, you see Ace. So those people who just got on board now and they see Ace, they're like, oh my God, you guys built this company like really quickly. But like, what about all the things that I've failed on before? And I think really good things take time, and life is not supposed to be easy, because if it was, everybody would be filthy rich and everybody would have all the time in the world to do what they want. But that's not the case at all. So I think that would be the biggest lesson is don't be a starter, but be a finisher. When you go into things, go all in.
Okay.
I don't even like talking about that. That I was a bum.
Well, they're all like learning lessons, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You figured some stuff out with them.
Hey, it took me a long time, but all right.
And the irony is, I do believe that the irony here is that those two lines may show back up around. So,
imagine.
Then
there's no doubt that God is the biggest.
I mean, not for nothing. There's a platform now. There's a file. It's different now. You know what I mean? Right. When you were doing it was very like there was no infrastructure.
Why is the camera on me still?
Did you not hear the other question? The multitasking is a thing for me. Man. I told you. All right. So that was my cue to move on. Yeah, question. Where do you think people go wrong in terms of leadership? I got into it with my boss last week, and I realized that just because he's my boss doesn't mean he's a leader.
No shade to your boss. Sheesh. But yeah, bosses aren't leaders, right? So yeah, you're spot on with that. Not every boss, not every manager is a true leader. And I think the question is where most people go wrong in leadership, CV, is that right? And yes. I think most people go wrong because they think that they made it. They think that they became the boss. They think that they became the CEO, the manager, and then they have to they get to stop. Leadership is an everyday principle. It's a lifestyle. It's something that must be worked on. It's something that has to be practiced. It is a skill set. Now, I think certain individuals have gifts from a higher power that they're, I don't even know if they're born with it, but they find that gift as they go. But if I gave you the analogy of a cell phone, and I was like, you're going to rock out with this cell phone for the next 10, 15 years of your life, you would look at me and laugh because that phone would be a dinosaur. The point is, you have to upgrade. You need an upgrade on your cell phone every 2 years, every 3 years, maybe every year. Leadership is the same way. You need a constant upgrade, and not just annually. It needs to be daily. But I think that would be the biggest thing, is that people believe for some reason that they get to this certain level and they're like, oh yeah, like I can chill right now. How about you, CV? I'm curious on your answer. And from your experience, where do you think most people go wrong in terms of leadership?
Man, way to put me on the spot. Where do people go wrong in leadership? Well, I think that the most of people that get into leadership positions, especially in the beginning portion of that journey, you've made it to that point because you were probably a hard worker, you excelled in other parts of the job, and as you show this to your own bosses and your own leaders, they start recognizing it, and they slowly start kind of bumping you up, putting you in different positions. You start getting your promotions, you start getting different jobs, and ultimately you're always seeking to advance your career, whether it's with financially or whether it's with a title or whatever it may be. But so the point of what I'm trying to say is, by the time you get to that point, you may be a different. You're not that person. You're not that leader person per se, because there are people that I think naturally, innately, have a lot of leadership qualities, and then there's a lot of people that work really hard, have a lot of other excellent qualities that make it to those positions. And ultimately, I think, for lack of better words, it's almost like they're just managers. They're because they manage different things, and so you get put into that leadership role, which is not an easy role to fulfill. You're having to like motivate people. You're having to like really get more out of people by the things that you say, by the things that they see you do. Whereas most people will bust their behind to get to a really nice, cozy position, and then it doesn't always translate. So I don't know if that answers the question directly, but I think that's where people go wrong. So it's almost like if you don't have that innate leadership traits in you, like anything else, you have to go learn it, and you have to learn it and practice it, and then make that the thing that you are doing the most, so you can excel in your job.
Living it, right?
Yeah,
I like that.
That's my 2 cents.
Shout out to Tina walking by the way. She's in the shot.
Yeah. Right, more. Yeah, right.
Oh, there. Hi.
Hey, wave. There she goes.
There you go. She did a dance. For the past 5 years, I've trusted Kai Vision Studio with my podcast. And every time, Claudio delivers an exceptional experience. The setup here is flawless. Professional lighting, crystal clear audio, and a custom set that makes every episode look elite. As someone who speaks on leadership, I know how important it is to show up with clarity and confidence. This studio allows me to do just that. The quality here isn't just about the equipment, it's about the environment. Claudio has created a space where I can focus on my message, knowing the production will be sharp, engaging, and professional. In a world flooded with content, standing out matters. And having a studio like this gives me the edge to produce videos and podcasts that truly connect with my audience. If you're serious about creating high-quality content, I can't recommend Kai Visions enough. Claudio makes you feel at home, yet delivers at the highest level. 5 years in, I'm not going anywhere else.
So yeah, I don't know where we left off, but I mean, that's kind of my take on it.
Yep.
It's leadership is tough, man. It's not easy. It's not easy to learn it either. And the crazy part about leadership is that, especially when you're at work, when you're managing people, there's so many different personalities and so many different things that can go wrong or throw like a wrench in your way that, it's there's a lot of learning has to be involved,
Yes.
So I don't know.
No, absolutely. I agree.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
Let me put the camera back on me. Here we go. I've been in a funk for the past 3 weeks. I've been trying hard to get out of it. Physically, I'm there, but mentally, I'm not in the game. Do you go through funks, and how do you snap out? By the way, you have to admit, my hooked on phonics is getting
You're
better.
good. You're good. The big vacation
I've been practicing.
is on fire today. So get funky, huh? That's what we're talking about. Yes, I go through funks. And I know some people be like, no, you don't. Yes, I do. Absolutely. But I don't allow it to affect me. And I'm a systems guy, right? I like systems in my life. And if ever I'm in a funk or not in a funk, this really is just like if I want to have the formula for a good day, I have to do these 4 things. Number 1 is pray. And now I'm not just saying like, oh, God, just help me. I actually speak words that I truly want in that moment. So if I'm feeling in a funk, I might reach out and say, dear God, first and foremost, I come to you to say thank you. I'm asking that you lift me from this funk, that you empower me with wisdom, with guidance, with clarity to take one step in the right direction, to provide me with a little bit less anxiety. And I just want to say thank you because I know once I ask for it, it's already done. So the first thing is I pray. The second thing is challenge. You have to challenge yourself every day. Now, whether you feel like it or not, you should challenge yourself to move your body physically. We know that movement is medicine. We know that action alleviates anxiety. So challenging yourself physically or mentally is something that should be done every single day, especially while you're in the funk. The next one is learn. You have to learn something. How easy is it when you wake up to take that AirPod, put it in your ear? There's literally like no additional thing that needs to be done. You just need to do that and hit play. Put something motivational on. Put on Tony Robbins. Put on Dave Regina. Put on Ed Milet. Put on, I don't know, whoever you think is your go-to for some inspiration. But the truth is it's very hard to stay in that funky place while you're listening to something. And even if you do, that's okay, but just make sure you continue to do it. And again, this isn't a one-day thing. This is an everyday thing. So after learn, there's one final step that makes me feel good, especially when I'm in a funk, and that's serve. You have to do something for somebody else, right? Sending your mom a text message or giving her a phone call because you haven't talked to her in 2 months or 2 years. Going to Starbucks and seeing an old lady online and saying, ma'am, as long as you're only going to get 1 coffee, I'm going to pay for that. Now, if she buys an entire breakfast, she's on her own. Doing little things just out of the kindness of your heart are all choices that we can make. Now, that formula that I just shared with you, besides the prayer, is the ACE formula. Challenge, learn, and serve. And that is the formula for not only a great day, but a great life. It's extremely difficult to live a negative life when you're taking all of these positive actions. You have a negative thought, it's your responsibility to take a positive action. And also, I'll share this. It's something that I've been thinking about, and even an analogy. You should start meditating. I know it's hard. I struggled so much with meditation in general. I was not a meditative guy by any means. My brain is always running, always rocking, going crazy. But like anything in life, if you practice, you will get better. Now, when you meditate, the goal, whether you feel this way or not, it's the truth. You're trying to tap into your subconscious mind, right? We already know that there's 60,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are subconscious and negative. So if you're having all those thoughts, why wouldn't you want to tap in anyway? And now let me ask you this. Why is it that when you have a dream, when you're actually sleeping, closing your eyes and you're dreaming, and you get hit by a car, bam, what happens to you in that dream? You wake up and your body jolts. It shifts. It feels some level of impact from the car that wasn't even there. This wasn't even real. Your eyes were closed. It's fake. So you mean to tell me that your body and your brain and your mind has the ability to do that when you're sleeping, but you can't meditate and try to tap into that subconscious mind while you're actually coherent and awake? I think not. I think we all have the ability to be phenomenal in meditation. But if that analogy didn't just hit you and make sense to you, then maybe you're listening to the wrong podcast. Because I know me, there was one time I was being chased by a dude with a knife and I was out because that knife was literally about to be in my back. And the same way that we do it in our dreams, we can actually do it in reality. And it's going to be uncomfortable from the beginning. But you do 3 minutes here, you do 5 minutes the next day, 5 minutes for a month. Get comfortable in that 5 minutes. Then throw a 7-minute one on. Then throw a 10-minute one on. I really only do 15 to 20 minutes. My girlfriend, Katie, she can do 2 hours. That's next level stuff. But I can tell you from meditation, my life has completely transformed. I just shared with you guys last week about how from a meditation that sparked the thought process for 30 Lessons to Lead, from breakdowns to breakthroughs, which is going to be my first book that's coming out soon. That was from a meditation. I see myself in these meditations now. I see myself speaking on stages, and I stay in it. So I would challenge you to do all of those things, to pray, challenge, learn, serve, meditate. There's 5 for you, big guy.
Very nice. And until next time.
Very nice.
Stop
Very
snoozing.
Nice. Do you meditate, bro?
Oh, damn. I don't.
Camera, please.
Huh?
Camera.
Ooh, no, because that's a lot of accountability right there. I don't. I try to. I do. I mean, every now and then when I get into the groove, I'll start a little bit. I actually do like meditation. I find it hard sometimes to stay consistent with it, only because sometimes I wake up in the mornings and my brain is like, as the moment my eyes open, my brain is like, it wants to go. Mm-hmm. And in it wanting to go, it's almost like my body just says, well, nothing else is important. You just got to go. Whereas when that doesn't happen, and it's more of like just a regular wake up where you just wake up and you kind of relax. Mm-hmm. All right, let me meditate for a little bit. That's when I find it easier to meditate. So I haven't found how to shut my brain down when I first wake up. And I don't know if that's normal on everybody or not.
I don't think you need to do that, though. I think you're thinking about it the wrong way. You don't need to meditate first thing in the morning. And also, yeah. So I've done it.
So when do you meditate?
I do it in the sauna now after I work out because it's easy, right? But there's been plenty of days where I actually get overwhelmed in the middle of the day because I know the power of meditation now. Mm-hmm. Dude, I go in my freaking car, bro, and I put it on and I just close my eyes. And you get there. And honestly, what's crazy is you will feel, and maybe this will make people feel better, you will feel like nothing is happening for a very long time, right? And if you know that, just do it anyway, and you're okay with that, it will begin to shift. The same way like somebody who doesn't work out at all, if you work out for 60 days straight, you're going to see some level of result. And you're going to start to see these little ideas, bro. Everybody has really good ideas, everybody in life. But a lot of people are just like, oh, that's an idea, I can't execute on it. When you stay in that meditation and you like tap into that thought process a little bit more and you say, you know what, give me the next step of that. Give me the next step of that. You're going to unlock some crazy things. And this is me, bro. I used to listen to this stuff and I would be like, what are you talking about? The ding, dong.
The irony is I like that stuff.
You do?
I like it. I welcome it. If in the mood, I'm all about it. Mm-hmm. The biggest drawback that I find is that when my mind gets going, it's hard for me to stop it or just be like, hey, I'm going to meditate now instead.
So that's what you need to do. You need to actually go on your lunch break while you're feeling that you shouldn't do it and go just put a 5-minute on.
Sir,
and
do entrepreneurs get lunch breaks?
Yeah, you make your own lunch. That's the beauty of a lunch break. You don't get a 15?
No.
You don't get a quick 15?
No,
but like seriously, I mean, you park your car downstairs, right? Like, I mean, it's a little hot now, but you getting in there, pumping that AC.
AC, baby.
I know, pumping that AC and doing literally a 15-minute meditation. Bro, I would challenge you to do this.
Well, I won't. I can't do 15 right now. I dabble in the 5 to 10 range when I was doing it, and I honestly, like I'm telling you, I enjoy it. It does give me, it makes me feel so much more calm. This is what I always loved about meditating, right? And I never really meditated. I started meditating about 2 years ago when some things kind of happened. Sorry, the camera. Some things happened in my life. And it really, I really attached to it because it really made me feel at peace. It made me feel calm during a time where I wasn't calm. But of course, as things got better, you kind of like, oh, I don't need it anymore, or things. Now my mind, it was wanting to do other things, so I would kind of jump in those. So I would forget to do it. And from time to time, I'll dabble into it. So I enjoy it. I embrace it. I like the feeling that I get after it. But it's one of those things that, you know what's right and what's good for you. And then you're like,
just don't do it.
I got to go do what I got to go do. And that's kind of my priority. And nothing else really matters because that's my priority. And,
I would just challenge you to get, start with even 3 or 4 a week. Just like if you know that you have to do 3 or 4 a week, regardless weekends, weekday, like you'll find a way to do it. 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
The problem with me with 5 minutes is I feel like I'm not even locked in until like minute 7.
it takes you a minute to like warm up.
It takes me a long time. Yeah, because like and this again, I want to be very clear about this because this still happens to me, and I'm by no means any expert meditator at all. I feel myself thinking about all of the things that I still need to do during the day, the thing I need to do tomorrow, the thing that I need to do next week,
Right. Yeah,
as
that's
I'm
what happens
meditating.
to me. Yeah.
So don't think that that's gonna like not happen to you because it absolutely is. And when you know that, like as long as I know that and I'm still on the right path, cool. Because then after a couple weeks of doing it, a month, 2 months, bro, you're gonna really start to like unlock some power within yourself.
So I'll tell you this. I'll make the commitment. I will, because I am going to try something that I've never tried before, which is to meditate at a random time in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you what or when that's going to look like. But I'm going to try that because I've always, for whatever reason, it was either super early in the morning when you first wake up, or super late at night right before you go to bed, which is kind of also a good thing because then it just kind of conks you out.
Yep.
But I've also kind of been developing some not the best habits at night. Because my mind is always racing. So it's racing till the very, very end. And it's like I don't shut it down right away.
You do guided meditations?
Yes, always.
Okay, so here's a good thing too, a hack. This is what I do. I repeat the words that they say to me.
Oof.
So while it's playing in my ear, like you are empowered or you are I repeat everything that they're saying, and it just keeps me focused on the actual thing. And it helps so much. Try it out.
Yeah.
But now I also listen to one that's really good. That it's literally just music. She gets you into it, and then it's just music to allow your brain to flow. That's where I got that concept for the book.
That's cool.
My brain was just flowing.
That's really
but it was
cool,
just like a little ding music, like comfortable stuff. But at the beginning of even that one, I constantly repeat to myself what she's saying, and she's talking about like a lot of the power is already within. The power is already within. So I sit, and every time she says it, I say it in my head, not out loud.
Yeah.
Don't be goofy out here.
I'm going to be in my car. People are going to look at, what is he talking to?
The power is already within.
But no, I'll commit to that because I like it.
Good.
I love it. And I just think it's been a me thing to not do it. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, do you think am I making this up? Like,
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I only speak on things that I actually do and know to be true.
Oh, no,
like,
no.
in
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why for a long time I didn't really speak on meditation because it didn't do much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it only takes one. It only takes one. And literally a whole book, bro, came from.
Yeah. No, and I've experienced the benefits of good meditation. I mean, I've never had a prophecy like yours, but the calmness and serenity that it's brought me, that is to me is invaluable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just looking at my chest here, baby. Look at that, CV.
So
I
I think
what you did with the camera.
I think the
here,
camera
baby.
broke. Hold on.
I like it.
I think it stopped recording.
Come on, man. Come on.
Sorry.
Is that all we got for questions?
Yeah, man. That was it for the questions.
Listen, guys, you can send these questions in. If you see me post on my Instagram stories, send them in. I save a couple of them. You could hit the No Snooze Podcast page. You can hit us at nosnoozepodcast@gmail.com if you want to be archaic and send me an email. That's cool, too.
I'm going to send correspondence via mail.
And yeah, man, just really, really grateful. Happy to be in the booth. Happy to get another one done. CV, we're getting a lot of these done, my brother. It's a long journey.
This is good.
And shout out to you you have 10 podcasts in the books now?
Yes, sir.
10 podcasts. So if you're out there and you're in the Westchester area, the Stanford area, really if you're just willing to even travel, even if you live 2 hours away and you were to book 1 day a month with CV and you wanted to start your own journey, as long as you have a message, he could create a very dope platform for you. In terms of the professional edits and everything, I can't say enough about my brother behind the booth. So thank you for what you do. And if anybody is interested, there's definitely a couple slots left at this very special deal that he's offering. So you can hit him at Kai Visions on Instagram for any of your needs there. And as always, you can shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. And until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after
And
it.
happy birthday, Callie Michelle.
Let's go, Callie Michelle. Get on the podcast already.
Thank you guys for tuning in. That's another epi in the books. You can follow us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. Come on.